And where you're going to see ethical agreement are on the basic things that people need to agree on in order for society to function. And so Lischka emphasizes actually trust is the one thing that he emphasizes at the beginning, at the end of the introduction. He says, and he gives two examples of societies where basic trust is broken down. A group in Africa where people have become obsessed with sorcery and the possibility that anyone around you might be a witch. People all over the world sometimes get caught up in witch hunts. But what happens there? Society breaks down because trust breaks down. The other example he gives is the Sicilian mafia. Right? Sicily lags behind the rest of Italy, particularly the north, and part of the reason, according to some sociologists, for that is this economic lag is the drag of the fact that no one can trust anyone else. So, I cannot answer the original question, which was what makes some things right and some things wrong. Right? I'm going to point to an answer. We have ethical emotions, and we have ways of developing them into an overall system of moral competence. And we have to have these to survive. Are there other questions? Two questions.
Can there people be programmed to do things that are morally right? You can't have people who are always going to believe that. And that's just how it is.
Well, it sort of depends on what kind of bad person you're talking about. This is another question that we'll talk about more as the course goes on. One of the interesting things about studying moral competence is that to study how the morally functional person works, you learn about how people can break down morally, right? So these are 5 elements of moral competence. You can see different kinds of immorality coming from different kinds of lacks, different kinds of problems. So, for instance, some people consistently do the wrong thing because they lack moral strength, they lack willpower. This is something you can work on. And there will be a discussion of how to.
I just wanted to say, I kind of disagree with that.
Oh, okay.
It's not, obviously, some cases it doing the right thing is harder. But I believe in a lot of cases, doing the right thing is just kind of throwing it around.
Yeah.
Kind of much easier.
See, no, absolutely. And all of this is stuff we'll talk about. I was just giving one example, right? And so all I need to say is that in some cases, doing the right thing is harder, and therefore in some cases, people fail to do the right thing because they lack willpower. And the last section of the chapter on willpower will talk about ways of strengthening your willpower, which is really quite nice. I've got 3 minutes, I'm going to use them, so don't get all antsy. I want to give you a contrast here. Difficulties in moral emotions are much harder to repair, right? So when we look at sociopaths, which is actually the first kind of moral failing we're going to look at, we're going to be looking at people for whom, as far as I know, there isn't really effective treatment. And there are a number of other emotional difficulties that will come up. They all involve, in one way or another, failing to feel other people's emotions. Actually, autism can be an example of this too. It's hard, although autistics are not psychopaths, evil in that sense. Nevertheless, there's a basic problem in socialization that occurs with them because, and on at least one theory, it comes from a failure to read other people's emotions. The short answer to your question is, it depends. Okay, and, oh, I guess we don't have time for this time.